watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the Thursday edition of This Is Exclusive with me, Shavin. And ladies and gentlemen, I continue to put the spotlight on what we are now calling the Saif Saga. Why is it Saif Saga, ladies and gentlemen? Because the questions that are now essentially coming up, these are questions that are not only being asked by us, but even the politicians have now jumped in. Not opposition leaders, but ministers in Maharashtra are now raising doubts about what really happened on that night. Was Saif Ali Khan stabbed? If he was stabbed, by whom? And whether at all the person who has been arrested by the Mumbai police is the real accused. All of this and much more in this edition of This Is Exclusive. But up first, let's take you through the headlines we are tracking at this hour. After Sanjay Nirupam, Maharashtra Minister Nitish Rane has raised question of Saif's quick recovery. Saif Ali Khan gets Mumbai police security cover, one personal to accompany Saif at all times. Killed, chopped, cooked. Shocking incident comes to light from Hyderabad. Man accused of killing, chopping body parts, boiling those body parts and throwing them into a pond. At least 13 people dead and 10 seriously injured after they were hit by the Karnataka Express in Maharashtra's Jalgaon. Chief Minister announces ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees for the families of deceased. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri to visit China on 26th of January. Six stab wounds, a knife near the spine, a 6-hour surgery, and now a swift recovery. Some would say a miraculous recovery. And yes, we all pray for the good health of Saif Ali Khan. Mind you, make no mistake, that's not the question that we are essentially asking. That what really happened, how did the surgery really take place? Saif is in good hands of Lilavati Hospital, and that's great for the actor. But it raises some very serious questions because, ladies and gentlemen, some incongruous statements that have essentially been made and nothing really adds up. CCTV footage is of someone, doesn't really look like that of the accused. It turns out accused father from Bangladesh says that he's not my son who is seen in the CCTV footage. And amidst all of this, you have now politicians jumping in. First, you've heard what Sanjay Nirupam of the Shiva Sena, and remember, his party is in power, was questioning. Some within the party thereafter started questioning Sanjay Nirupam himself. And then there is another twist that actually takes place. And this time it's a sitting minister, Nitish Rane, who's raised doubts about what really happened that night. He's asking a question whether at all he was stabbed in the first place. So it really raises some very serious questions. After all, what's really happening? People in power are now raising this question. In fact, Nitish Rane spoke to us earlier in the day. Listen to what he had to say.
It's a natural question that's coming up in every Mumbaiker's mind, is what exactly happened and how can someone who has been stabbed so severely in his spine can be okay in 5 days? If the medical fraternity of Lilavati is really that good, I'm very happy about it. But on the other side, the Maharashtra government's image was questioned by the opposition because of the law and order in the city. But looking at the entire episode, there's a lot of dots that need to be connected here. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered. Someone who was so severely injured, either he has to be bedridden at least for a few months, at least to take rest. We are not saying, he cannot be fine. But someone needs to take rest at least for a few months if his spine was so severely injured. So I think this is a question that every Mumbaiker has in their mind, and that is what I just watched it.
And Mr. Rane, as you also questioned how the swift recovery has happened,
taking into the point that, the injury was sustained also near the spine, as you mentioned. So what is the angle that you sort of, have thought about, as you're saying, also on behalf of the Mumbaikars, really?
See, we need to understand also how come someone who was so deeply injured can be perfectly fine in so soon. Because obviously Maharashtra police Mumbai police is investigating the case. The truth will eventually come out. There have been different theories and there have been different stories that have been changing every 24 hours. So I think things need to come out on the table. Things need to be clear. So I think we all need to know the facts. As a part of the government, our image of our chief minister and image of our government was questioned that time by the opposition. But after looking at this entire episode of him walking out of the hospital so fit and fine, obviously we do not want the government to be blamed unnecessarily. So we just need to know the answer.
Mr. Rane, you also pointed out about the various theories that have been, sort of peddled with regards to this particular case. Any particular probe or investigation that has sort of prompted you again in this angle, or with the political, you're not the first one. It was also Sanjay Nirupam who earlier raised this issue. So in terms of the case being handled by the Mumbai police and possible ramifications on the political front, what do you foresee?
See, the whole point is, we were, from the first day, we were clearly stating that there is absolutely no law and order problem in the city. Everyone is safe in the city under the leadership of Devendra Fadnavis ji. And because all this affected the image of the Maharashtra government, so obviously we have a right to come out and question what really happened. So when the way he walked out of the hospital and the way he was, behaving, so obviously this question, if you read everywhere on the social media, everyone is questioning it. It's just not me. So I think these questions have to be clearly answered either by the family, or if you must have seen from the day one, different theories are coming out. See, the police is investigating the case very sincerely. I'm sure they will come out with the facts and the clear answers soon. But this also causes damage. This also had caused damage to our government, and that is why, as a part of the government, I have a right to ask questions: what really happened, and was he really that not injured that he could walk out so fine after being stabbed in his spine?
Thank you so much, Mr. Rane, for getting those inputs.
Ladies and gentlemen, shifting focus now to the other story that we are getting to tonight. Over the last few weeks, on This Is Exclusive, we have relentlessly covered how things are being changed in Bangladesh, and there is an influence, that influence really coming in from Pakistan. In fact, Pakistan now senses an opportunity, and that opportunity is to basically work with the radicals, the Jamaat in Bangladesh, and try and continue with their activities of brainwashing. Many would ask this question, whether at all Bangladesh has actually forgotten what happened in 1971. If you speak to several Bangladeshis, they will actually tell you that this is a huge cause of concern. Pakistan's ISI, it turns out, is seeing this as a great sense of opportunity to carry out with their nefarious activities, joining hands with terror organizations like that of the ABT and others. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, let's take you through the breaking news now coming in. We've got confirmation about the presence of the ISI chief in Bangladesh. Let's take you through the details of it. Pakistan's ISI chief, Asif Malik, has visited Bangladesh. What more do we know? Now, there are reports that are now coming in that Malik was received by Lieutenant General Mohammad Faizur Rahman. Let's take you through more details of this entire thing. Rahman allegedly has close ties with the Islamists and Pakistan. And this meeting that is essentially taking place, intelligence sharing network has now been created, is what we are being told. ISI chief basically comes after Pakistani delegation visited Bangladesh. Stay on this, and let me just add one more thing. Just about a few weeks ago, you've had a delegation of the Jamaats actually going to China first, and then now we see this kind of an association that is actually building between the ISI chief that is coming in and this kind of meetings that are actually taking. Let's take you through the others. Now, in all of this, what is basically emerging? The larger picture, ladies and gentlemen. Pakistan's ISI chief who was basically landed in Dhaka. And I'm told that there were certain meetings that actually took place in the cantonment area late last evening, and it turns out that things really didn't go down well, because there is a section within the Bangladeshi army also objecting to the fact that this is what we really fought for. We fought Pakistan all this while. We fought the Islamic radicals all this while. And what's really happening on the ground? Now, all of our foes are now joining hands to basically create a situation to try and provoke India. And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen this happening at our border area, border with Bangladesh. And now Pakistan perhaps senses an opportunity. And that is the reason why Pakistan perhaps needs to be stopped. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the two big stories that we have got to you tonight. We'll be following up on this big story that we're breaking on. This is exclusive about the presence of the Pakistani ISI chief, which has got a massive political ramification too.
What do you think the Trump presidency 2.0 will bring to the Middle East, and specifically for your country?
Well, we are looking at the second Trump administration with great hope because we've seen what the first Trump administration brought to our region. The Abraham Accords, the recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital, the recognition of the Golan Heights as part of Israel, the transfer of Israel from EUCOM to CENTCOM, which allows more coordination on military and defense issues within the area of the Middle East. So we are waiting to re-engage in the process of expanding the Abraham Accords, of having a stronger stance of pressure against the Iranian aspirations for nuclear weapons and for hegemony in the region. But I think that an American strong approach of pressure against Iran would be very conducive for the peace efforts in the region.
We're starting the event with you. What a marvelous way to start the event. Just before the event, viewers, we were actually having a word with her, and you were telling us about the many firsts that as the president of the Sri Sri University you've accomplished. So my first question is going to be, what is India looking forward to with this vision that you have for our higher education?
Thank you, Rhythm, and it's so wonderful to be here at the Republic Forest, as you call it. And I think this is a landmark day today, that is the first time you're hosting the India Women's Summit here in this new studio. So fantastic to be here. And congratulations to the entire team for putting this day together. As you rightly said, and as the anchors were rightly saying in the beginning, India is poised for a huge inflection. We are already one of the top 5 economies of the world, and with the vision that our Prime Minister has for India being one of the top 3 economies of the world in the coming decades, I think education has a very huge role to play. So at Sri Sri University, which has been founded by Puja Gurudev, Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji, that is our vision, that how we can become part and a catalyzer and an accelerator of India's growth story. How we can train our students, create an ecosystem of learning, innovation, entrepreneurship, so that students of our university become nation builders. And that is what we are focused on. And I'm very proud to say that in a short span, we are a very young university, just about 10, 12 years old. And as you know, building an institution like a university is a multi-generational, multi-decade effort. But I'm very proud that in this short time, we have become a top 200 university of the world in the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking. And you know, Rhythm, when Puja Gurudev first saw this land, which is our university, it was a couple of 100 acres of barren land. There were only 2 trees on, say, about 180 acres of land. Only 2 trees. And today, in just 10 years, we are a green campus. We have over 150,000 trees, almost 100 types of birds, about 70 types of butterflies, and lots of flora, fauna, not to mention all the incredible programs that we have. Close to 3,000 students call it their home across almost 60 UG/PG programs. So this is our effort, and to bring to students of our country programs that are necessary but not available. So one of the things we are one of the first universities in Asia to start the program in osteopathy, which is a very important field of non-interventional medicine. We are the first in the world, I am told, to have a faculty of contemplative and behavioral science. See, mental health is such a big challenge in the world today. So how can we bring students the best of what the east of the world, which is our side, contemplation, meditation, and the west, which is psychology, can offer? So many such programs. And then artificial intelligence. It's the cutting edge technology of the world. In fact,
What
this
on
week...
artificial intelligence is there?
Huh?
What on artificial
We
intelligence
have
is
master's
there?
programs, bachelor's programs. In fact, this week we are celebrating as AI week in the university, where the entire student community, whether they are learning agriculture or Ayurveda or arts, all of them will learn artificial intelligence. I see many students are here, and that is my advice to every student, everyone, that no matter which field you are in, learn a little bit about artificial intelligence.
So, Professor Baga, what is then the role of women in leadership positions? Because you're talking about innovation and how they need to serve. What could their role in the future years you see be in leadership roles?
I think women have a very, very, very important role to play as leaders. Rhythm, if you look at any data, whether it is data about corruption, whether it is data about how boards become better at functioning if women are on the boards, how corruption reduces if women are in leadership positions in government. There is so much data available which shows that presence of women in leadership positions is productive and positive for countries, for corporations, for society. So I think as women, it is our responsibility, because we are capable, to take leadership roles. So I would encourage every young student, everyone who is in your 20s, 30s, seize the opportunity. Look for opportunities to contribute, to learn, to make a difference, and learn from each other. Learn, this is a great platform where
has reached Bengaluru to attend the biggest tech event of the year, Galaxy Unpacked 2025, where Samsung is set to launch its S25 series.
What you're changing with the Galaxy S25 is a true AI companion. So one is a search, second is a location, third is an input to study within the text, and fourth, it's the action. Now that all happens on one click. Now that's the biggest transformation which is coming in.
As we come to the end of this newsreel, let's record and summarize with Note Assist using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. The death toll in the Jalgaon train accident has gone up to 13. Some passengers of Mumbai-bound Pushpak Express who got off the train after an alarm chain pulling incident were run over by the Karnataka Express. The Commissioner of Railway Safety Central Circle will probe the circumstances leading to the mowing down of the 13 passengers. There you have it, the precise reading of the news in a simpler format using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. We'll be back with the headlines in a few minutes.
"13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
So, Professor Baga, what is then the role of women in leadership positions? Because you're talking about innovation and how they need to serve. What could their role in the future years you see be in leadership roles?
I think